You wouldn't think that the Arctic would be a popular place for picnics, but when supplies started running low for these explorers, it became their only option. What they did next is pure horror. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be learning about the ghost ships of the Arctic, the Franklin expedition, and cannibalism on ice. In 1848, an American ship called the Advance sailed from New York to the Arctic in search of the legendary Northwest Passage, a sea route through or around the continent of Antarctica. With them was a British naval expedition led by Sir John Franklin, whose mission was to find the same passage. The ships got trapped in the ice and the crew resorted to eating their dogs for sustenance. When that didn't work, they turned to more drastic measures. The men began killing each other, chopping up their shipmates and cooking them over open fires. They then ate their flesh, seasoned with ketchup, mustard, and pepper. Yikes. To make matters worse, the smell of the cooking meat attracted polar bears who would attack the men and steal their food. So the men were forced to kill the bears too. They carved up the polar bear meat and dried it in the sun, and when it was ready, they ate it like jerky. The men were eventually rescued, but not before one of the most bizarre rituals in history. One of the men, Thomas Peters, was put in charge of recording the details of the expedition, but he had a secret. He had been writing down everything that happened during the journey in a journal, including the grisly details of what the men had been forced to do. When he was finally rescued, he handed his journal over to the Navy. In exchange, he asked for a bottle of rum, which he drank in one sitting. After that, he began shouting and making strange noises, and then fell into a deep sleep. He never woke up. It's believed that Peters may have been suffering from lead poisoning, which can cause hallucinations and insanity, or perhaps he simply couldn't handle the guilt he felt for surviving the ordeal. Many of the men who survived the expedition went insane. Some died soon after being rescued. Others lived out the remainder of their days haunted by what they had done. So what can we learn from this horrific tale? Well, never go to the Arctic in the summer. It's freezing cold and there's no such thing as a Northwest Passage. And whatever you do, don't run out of food. It's not easy being hungry, but it's even harder when you're surrounded by other people who are just as hungry and desperate as you are. If you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for more stories of survival and cannibalism. Thanks for watching.